Hello, everybody. This is Nicholas Snow, and you've tuned in to the world premiere of the all-new Notes from Hollywood on PromoHomo.TV, which this week has expanded into a worldwide online broadcast network. I couldn't be more honored that you are joining me today. Coming up on the show, I have Mr. Leon Acord, and he is going to be talking about his new book, a tell-all memoir called SUB-LEBRITY, The Queer Life of a Showbiz Footnote. So that's coming up in the show. I wanted to let you know a little bit about the origins of Notes from Hollywood. So in 1990, I was on the board of the Alliance for Gay and Lesbian Artists in the Entertainment Industry. It did not evolve into GLAAD, the Gay and Lesbian Alliance Against Defamation, which is an amazing group that's been around for decades, but I believe that it helped create the cultural context for GLAAD to emerge. And as an outreach tool for that particular organization, I conceived a column, a syndicated column called Notes from Hollywood, that was published as far away as Australia. And the purpose of the column was to examine and strengthen the relationship between the entertainment industry and the LGBTQ civil rights movement, thereby positively impacting the movement itself. So Notes from Hollywood was born at that time, and has existed in a variety of incarnations, and now it is a worldwide television program. And I offer reports and profiles of people passionately pursuing professions in the entertainment industry. The world has evolved a lot around LGBTQ issues, but there's a lot more work to be done. I want to let it be known, though, that this show will profile everybody. My network is about reaching everybody, and I'm not just focusing on LGBTQ specific content. So I wanted you to all know that. In 1993, I created a public access show called Tinseltown's Queer, which I described as a Queen's version of Larry King, published for most of the 1990s on originating from about 4 different public access cable systems, reaching up to 600,000 households on a regular basis. And that program is going to be digitized, and there's a whole channel at PromoHomo.TV where those episodes will be placed. There's one there now, and I've already put everything in place that when I'm no longer here, or perhaps I'll get around to making it happen while I'm still here, my media archives that I've been developing over the decades and that I'm creating as each day goes by will be permanently housed at the One Archives at the USC libraries. So that's breaking news. I haven't made that public at this level since. So coming up, I just want to let you know that I have Leon Acord with SUB-LEBRITY after this. By the way, I just want to remind you, if you're watching live, you can comment, and I'm going to curate your comments and put some of them on screen during the broadcast. So Old Dogs and New Tricks, Leon Acord shares the good, the bad, and the Brady in his humorous new memoir, Celebrity, The Queer Life of a Showbiz Footnote. He created and starred in one of the earliest and most successful gay web TV series, Old Dogs and New Tricks, now enjoying a second life on Amazon Prime. He played gay icon Quentin Crisp to rave reviews in both San Francisco and LA productions of the stage hit Carved in Stone. And along the way, he's appeared in 35 films and 30 additional plays. But since 2016, actor-writer Leon Acord is perhaps best known for his very public blow-up with Trump-loving Susan Olsen, Brady Bunch's Cindy, on a political radio show she co-hosted, and for getting Olsen fired from the show after sharing private messages in which he called him the F word, among other choice insults. Wow. So let's bring to the screen my good friend, Leon Acord. Hi, Leon. Welcome to the world premiere of Notes from Hollywood. How are you?
I'm great, Nicholas. It's great to be here, and I'm honored to be on the premiere episode. This is fabulous. It looks
Well,
great.
thank you so much. I need to get a shout out to the creators of StreamYard. That is the technology that I'm using to broadcast the show, and it's really important to acknowledge the source of your power. So I just want to acknowledge StreamYard for their fantastic technology that's allowing me to create 5 very unique shows for the PromoHomo television network. Leon, I know that the COVID pandemic altered sort of the finalization and release of your book, and I was wondering if you would just give us some of that background.
Sure. Gosh, back in January, which already feels like it was 20 years ago, we set the release date for the book, June 14th, and then in March, we all know what happened. And at first I thought, well, no, we'll just sit on it for a while, wait till life gets back to normal. And then it became obvious that life wasn't going to get back to normal for a long time. So we released the ebook early in April, and the response was amazing. And I really didn't think we'd be able to keep our June release date for the paperback, but here it is. And
Yeah, show it again. That was too
oh,
fast. Show it again. I'm going
there
to
it
make you
is.
big screen. Yes, celebrity.
Sub, emphasis on the sub. Uh,
There's so many places we could go with that particular
you know,
revelation.
that didn't even occur to me, but a couple of people have
Well,
mentioned that in interviews.
the
Boy.
fact that it did occur to me must tell you something about me.
I like.
I just want to remind our viewers, I see that we do have live viewers. If you comment, if you have a question for Leon, or if you want to remark about the network, or tell me what city and town and state and everything you're viewing from, I'll curate your remarks into the show. So, Leon, when I came out in Hollywood in approximately, I want to say I was first out in the, there's so many ways to define coming out, but I came out in the
Yeah.
media in 1985, and I continued that when I moved to Hollywood to pursue my passion and dreams of making it in the entertainment industry, which were influenced by my desire to honor my life in the face of learning about how important it was, having been losing people to the HIV/AIDS epidemic. So that is kind of what inspired me. And in college, I learned that what I had that was most valuable, and I've held on to it ever since, is my life force, my ability to speak my truth. And that is how we create change. I'm wondering, when and how did you decide to come out as a gay person pursuing an entertainment career, or was it ever even a decision for you?
I don't think it was ever really a decision. Um, it's funny. One of the things that I kind of really connected with Quentin playing Quentin Crisp was I think we both had this just inability to pass. I mean, what's the expression? I open my mouth and my purse falls out. So I officially came out my senior year of high school in 1981. Do the math, I'm 57. Um, it was at the time in Indiana in 1981, it was really, AIDS didn't really come into our consciousness until 83. So that wasn't really I think it was just, I've always, I've never not been able to be honest about who I am and what I am. So it was kind of, as you said earlier, it was a process. Um, you talked to my parents last year, and what they said was totally true. They knew before I did, I think. I think the whole world knew before I kind of, the whole world, everyone I knew before I did, pretty much. But it wasn't really, for me, a big thing of, oh my God, am I going to come out? As much as it was just, I don't even know. It was pretty much, I would assume how straight people are. You just kind of, oh, that person's attractive. Oh, I like Tarzan movies. And the pieces just kind of fell into place. And thankfully, I have very cool parents. And, they had a learning curve too. But yeah, it wasn't, my coming out story wasn't all that dramatic, actually. The most dramatic part of it was coming out in high school. That was a little, but compared to a lot of people's stories, mine was actually low impact. Let's put it that way.
Well, I'm a year older than you are, and I did not come out in high school. I had been called a fag for a decade at that point, but I
Oh
was
yeah, me
not
too.
aware that I would come out. This is a perfect time to show our first comment from Craig Prater, who says, "Great show." And because Craig is on the screen, I'm going to take a moment, Craig, to cue up something else that I want to show to our viewers. Oh, actually, I don't have to cue it up. Just a second because it's here. So I'm going to take Leon and myself off of the screen for a moment. I actually took my audio out of the stream, so forgive me for that. I accidentally did that. So Craig is the executive director of Indie Shorts International Film Festival and Heartland Film Festival. They've just announced their lineup for the upcoming festival in July. And that is how Leon and I came to meet each other in person. So I wanted to definitely give a shout out to Craig, who commented on the show. And that gives me the opportunity, Leon, to ask you to speak about. I know you have a whole chapter devoted in your book to this, but I just wanted you to speak about what it was like to get such star treatment a year ago. Talk about how that came about and kind of what it meant at that point in your career for all of that celebrity to be poured upon you.
Oh, it was, I mean, to this day, that week of the festival last year was like the best week of my life. Oh my gosh. I had known Craig for a while. We'd worked at the same organization about, gosh, now I think it's almost 13 years, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. But when he started programming the Heartland Film Festival, I sent him just a note of congratulations and just kind of, jokingly said, "Oh, well, should I submit my show to the festival?" Ha 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 ha. And he responded with, "Well, hold on to that. Don't submit it, but I have an idea." And about a month or two later, he said he wanted to invite me and the entire cast of the show of Old Dogs and New Tricks to Indiana for a special event for indie shorts that they called Pride Stride. And they screened, I think, 8 or 9 of our episodes. We had the whole cast there. It was on the same bill with Troy, the original Ladyboy, a documentary about Troy Walker. Um, but for me, I mean, it was just mind blowing on every level. But particularly, I left Indiana in 1984 because I felt like I was too gay. I just, and here I was invited back to Indiana blah, 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 years later with a show that couldn't be gayer. And also, just the Indianapolis had this art scene now that didn't exist when I lived there. I was blown away by the festival, how professional it was, I mean, it's international. I saw films there that were nominated for Oscars. I mean, and the crowds, I mean, they had huge turnouts for the film, bigger turnouts than I've seen in film festivals in LA. It was just a magical week. I can't speak highly enough of Craig or Indie Shorts or Heartland Film. Check out their program because a lot of their shows are streaming. A lot of the films are streaming this year, and every festival needs every bit of support you can give it.
Well, I had the opportunity to be on the rainbow carpet for the
Yes.
opening, the pre-opening night for
Mhm.
that, and I also did lots of coverage of that particular festival. And Indianapolis has a thriving
Thriving.
LGBT community. There's a stereotype about the Midwest
Hmm.
that I had going in, and I just didn't realize how vibrant and out and open and the community is. And
Yeah.
even
I'm
though Heartland Film is a mainstream film festival, they were certainly uh, just embraced and thrilled to integrate the
mhm.
support of the LGBTQ film community.
Yeah, they partnered with the Indianapolis LGBT Film Festival. It
Yes.
was just, when I lived in Indianapolis from about 81 to 83, and there was a gay community there, but it was very underground. There was what we called Homo Heights uptown. And I won't say what the downtown part was called because some people might find that offensive. But yeah, it was all very hush hush and ghetto. And to go back and just see it, to see rainbow flags in the windows of straight establishments, restaurants, I'm like, this is Indianapolis. I mean, it was almost unrecognizable. I'm so proud of Indianapolis. I'm from Indiana, and I used to have those same kind of stereotypes that everyone else thinks of when they think of the Midwest. And it was great to just blow those old prejudices away. And I'm just so proud.
Well, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that. I want to make people wait a few more minutes for you to talk about your tie-in with Susan Olson, aka
Oh,
Cindy on the Brady Bunch. But
yes.
what else would you like to say about your new book? Which, by the way, there's a link to Amazon in the text associated with this video on every platform, so people
Oh,
can easily
cool.
find it. But what would you like to say about SUB-LEBRITY? I'll show it
Oh,
again. There we go.
there we
SUB-LEBRITY.
go.
Oh, I should leave you on camera when we're talking about SUB-LEBRITY, the queer life of a showbiz footnote. What would you like to say about it?
I'd like to say that, well, I originally hoped it would be a nice, breezy summer read for people to read on vacation. Well, hopefully now I'm hoping that it's keeping people at home reading. I think it's, uh, I hope people read it and walk away with a sense that, success is not always defined or attached to dollar signs. That I really think that if you can pursue your dreams and if you're happy doing it, um, that's success. But also, I hope it's kind of a time capsule in a way. Again, I'm talking about how Indianapolis has changed now. Um, it's kind of interesting to go back in time and relive my life as a closeted kid in Indiana in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and realize just how much all that's changed. But hopefully, it's a fun read. It's a tongue-in-cheek look at the ins and outs of being a jobbing actor in San Francisco and in Hollywood, and also fans of Old Dogs and New Tricks. It talks a lot about the birth of the show and the people who were involved with it. Um, but overall, basically, I just hope people have a good time reading it.
Well, I unfortunately don't have the time to read books cover to cover, but I'm very honored that you've mentioned me in one of your chapters. So thank you for
Yes.
that. One of the things I like to ask people, Leon, I try to ask this anytime I'm interviewing someone. Was there a key moment in your life, a turning point where you absolutely knew that
Mm.
you were committed to following your dreams? Was there a moment that you knew, okay, this is important to me, and I'm gonna try this no matter what?
There were actually a couple. They were both involving high school plays. I did first I did Brigadoon. I played Harry Beaton, the I wouldn't say he's a villain, but he tries to destroy the town. He was very angsty, and at the time I was this angsty kid, this farm boy longing to leave small town life, playing this magical Scottish guy who wanted to leave Brigadoon. And it just there was something about the parallels of the character in my life that was just very compelling to me at the time. But really, the aha moment was the following year. I did Arsenic and Old Lace, playing Mortimer Brewster. And there was a scene where I was supposed to run in, see an old man about to be poisoned by my ants. I was supposed to like take the glass from him and shove him out the door. Well, the guy playing the old man was one of the jocks in high school, and the jocks hated me. So on closing night, unbeknownst to me, they decided that they were going to pull a prank, and that when I rushed for the old man, he was going to take the glass of wine, which was actually Hawaiian punch, and throw it in my face, which he did. Thinking I was going to be like, a Carrie moment or something. I don't know what they, thought would happen. He ran out the door. The audience exploded with laughter. I'd grown up watching Carol Burnett and thinking, oh my God, that's what I want to do. The scenes when they would like struggle not to break character, or when things would go wrong. And the audience just would not stop laughing. And I had to like find ways to kill time until they did. And when they finally started to calm down, I don't know if they make clip-on ties anymore. I had a clip-on tie and I like yanked it off and started wiping the wine off my face. The audience laughed again, and then they started applauding. And
So he
that was
set you up to become
he
a
set me up.
star.
We've since become friends on Facebook, and I thanked him for that moment. But that was the moment where, like, oh my God, the rest of my life, it was like a drug. It really is a drug in a way. Performance. It's such a high that is unmatched by. It's better than pot. It's better than booze, as the old song says. That was the moment, and I was hooked, bitten by the bug.
Bitten by the bug.
Yeah,
Okay, I don't want to make them wait
it's
any
all in the book with
longer.
much more detail.
I don't want to make our audience wait any longer, and you don't have to give them all of the dish, because we still want them, to need to read your book to get the entire story. But tell us what you would like about that whole interaction with Susan Olson.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I guess the thing to get is that if you feel strongly enough about something, follow your instincts and push through it. The whole thing started. It was shortly after our current president was elected, but before he was inaugurated. Um, Susan was a co-host of a radio show called Two Chicks Talking Politics, and the other co-host, Sheena Metal, is a good friend of mine. And she asked me to do the show because they couldn't find no one was willing to go on the show after the election. Everyone was kind of in shock and stunned, and she thought, since I was so outspoken on Facebook, would I come on the show? And I said yes. And it was the most alarming hour of my life to be that close to that kind of. I'm trying to be apolitical here, but the craziness that our current president has inspired, to see that kind of up close, and the lies that Muslims are all terrorists and want to kill all of us, and that you can't be a liberal and be a patriot. It just went on and on and on. And after the show, I just felt like I felt dirty. I felt like I had contributed. I had normalized what was happening. So I went on Facebook trying to clear my conscience and wrote to LA Talk Radio, who was the station that hosted the program, or asked them if they really thought it was safe to put someone as a host. It's one thing to have these people as guests, but to install someone as a host where they can just lie unchecked. And I asked them to consider taking her off the air. And I said that I wouldn't do any more shows there until they did. I never thought it would happen. I never thought they would take her off. I just had to clear my conscience. Well, the next morning I got a couple private messages from her, um, calling me the F word and the C word and the P word and just any other word you can think of. Without a second thought, I did a screen capture, put it up on Facebook, and said, "See, this is the person hosting your show. Do you want this person to go on?" And it created this firestorm of, can I swear on the show?
Yeah, sure. Go right ahead.
Firestorm of bullshit. It was insane that for like a week and a half, it was like a trending, on the trending lists online. It was all people could talk about. Oh, that fag got Cindy Brady fired. Tons of death threats, lots of hate mail. Yeah, I'll just leave it there, and the rest is all in there. It was
that was perfect.
Week of my life.
That was
bizarre.
That was fine for you to to say.
I get worked up even just talking about it. It was such a, that whole period shortly after the election. It was like waking up to a nightmare, instead of from one.
Well, I just want you to know and my guest to know that this show is not going to be apolitical whatsoever.
Okay, well, now that I know that, okay, cool. All right.
I'm horrified by what's going on in our country. I believe that the Republicans in office have empowered the evolution of a fascist dictator, that our democracy is hanging by a thread, and that the institutions of our government have been taken over, and that what is happening is completely horrifying, not to mention the gross negligence in the handling of the coronavirus pandemic. But other than that, I have no opinion about the issue.
Have you ever what he said, Nicholas, have you ever considered running for office? That was all my emotions that I can't voice so well articulated. Thank you for saying that.
I just kind of want to cry about it.
I do too.
But listen, we'll be taking that on. So on the show, on the PromoHomo.TV network, I have a segment called Breaking News. So anytime there's an opportunity for me to go immediately live around important issues of the day, in which I can be of service and provide relevant information into the space that isn't already part of the conversation, I'm going to do that. As we wrap up the show, what would you like to say in concluding remarks?
Buy my book. No, I would say, since now I know it's okay to talk about it. Be safe, people. Be conscious. Be aware. The news is insane, and I can't believe after 90 plus days of being locked down that it's worse now than it was at the beginning. So I'm going to forego any self-promotion for the last minute or so and just say, think, be safe. Don't endanger your loved ones or strangers. Anne Frank stayed in that little room for 2 effing years. You can wear a mask. And that's all I'll say. I'm done.
Well, okay. Thank you for that. And that is a very important point. And thank you for taking the last minute of your time for that. But since I am a promo homo, I want to basically invite people to buy and read SUB-LEBRITY, The Queer Life of a Showbiz Footnote, with my special guest today, Leon Acord. Leon, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nicholas. And I'm sorry to end on a sour note. And, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, go to my website, leonacord.com. There's a link right there. And all the links are on my website. And I hope you enjoy the book. I hope it brings a little lightness to your life in an otherwise dark time.
Thank you so much, Leon, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, Nicholas.
So as we continue, I just want to tease tomorrow's broadcast. the episodes on the PromoHomo TV network are not necessarily going to be every day or at any particular time of day. A fabulous thing about the broadcast is that I can simply push the show out to the people that love and follow and engage with the show, or even hate and follow and engage with the show. My audience, although live, was a bit shy today. You do have the ability to comment, "I want to interact with you" during the show. So you do have the ability to comment. My next episode of Notes from Hollywood, the theme is All Black Lives Matter. And my guest will be trans activist Blossom Brown, who was made known to people in season 1 of I Am Kate, the reality show featuring the transition of Caitlyn Jenner. And also, Blossom became known on the National Coming Out Day televised presidential debate, in which she secured control of a microphone during the live debate and was extremely passionate and had an interaction with Don Lemon. And you can find that on YouTube. But Blossom is my guest tomorrow. I want to thank you all for your participation in the show. And until next time, I'm Nicholas Snow.